Night Stalker coming out for Liquid, so mobility is a little bit of the game here for Liquid with Night Stalker and Earth Spirit, you know, to Rolling Boulder in or start flying on Night Stalker to come over the trees or whatnot. I mean, there's a lot here for Liquid that can disrupt the fight of EG early.
Yeah, I like Night Stalker now. It just seems like a hero that's in a pretty good place with some of the changes. A good fast-paced offlaner that kind of just suits the current meta. Doesn't necessarily match up amazingly well against what EG have right now. Theoretically, the silence against Phoenix can be kind of nice, stopping some of his escapes or his ultimate coming out. But I think Liquid just probably like this hero and how it fits into their draft. And then they're going to leave Miracle's hero for last. So definitely excited to see Miracle play. I was keeping an eye on some of the games on the mainstream. Liquid earlier today had like a 70-minute game against Newbie where Miracle played Invoker. So, you know, you can imagine 70 minutes in Invoker with 6 slotted items, Octarine Refresher and stuff. Definitely felt like a throwback to some of the old Miracle days since they didn't have him for the major recently.
Yeah, this is, what, 2 events that Liquid have had the full roster?
What, since TI, you mean?
Yeah, it's either 2 or 3, right?
It can't be many. They didn't play the first minor major. They played qualifiers, but I wouldn't include qualifiers in that mix. Did they play, what, like an ESL event, maybe?
I think so. I think I read that on probably Reddit, and I'm just, you know, feeding that information into my talk a little bit.
Fair enough. Good source of
it's the Wikipedia, you know. You try to not try to source it out.
Yep.
And you know, now I'm embarrassed. But Ursa gets banned out here last for Team Liquid. And
they played the Russia land, the Megaphon Winter Clash or whatever it was. They won that one actually. They 3-0'd Navi in the grand finals.
Yeah, that's where it looked like Navi might be back for sure. They played that event really well with some good teams, kind of like what we're seeing RNG do.
Yeah, that's their only LAN they've played since TI with their full roster. They played qualifiers with their full team, I believe, but yeah, they've went to the CQ major and had a standard. They didn't play the first minor major, so they did qualify for DreamHack, so they'll be there with their full roster. Fingers crossed, of course. You know, anything can happen, but yeah, this is Liquid's second LAN of the season, and that Megaphone one was like, you know, I think it was only 6 teams. It was a much smaller LAN. It was like a 2 or 3 day thing. So this is like their first real big LAN of the year.
Well, Shrek here to finish it off for EG. We haven't really been seeing much of DK. I think that's definitely a comfort hero over in the mid lane from time to time, where you know you're tanky enough and your lane's not going to go horribly wrong, or at least it shouldn't with DK. But Leshrac picked up here for EG as well, so a lot of control for this EG team.
Question to me immediately is, what's Arteezy playing? Liquid banned Ursa thinking he would be playing that, but it looks like it's going to be a carry Chaos Knight this game. S4, typically the Lesh player for this team. They like to do these like Lesh +1 aggro dual lanes that cause a lot of problems. So I would imagine a Lesh tiny lane and then Phoenix CK. So a carry CK, haven't seen too much of that. Mostly being 3 position or 4 position Chaos Knight in the new patch.
So last pick for Liquid. They've got Night Stalker, Crystal Maiden, Earth Spirit, Lone Druid. What do you think is the proper pick here, or proper potential picks for Liquid against what EG are bringing to the table?
Against the DK, I mean, I probably just fanboying a bit and saying Invoker because, you know, you've got Alacrity on the Lone Druid Bear. I think it's pretty good against CK and all his illusions. You want some AoE. You want something to me that deals with CK illusions because right now it looks like a carried Chaos Knight. So getting AoE to me is the most important thing. And then also a hero that can lane well and match up against DK, which is where Invoker, I believe, will actually struggle a little bit at early levels against DK. It's a pretty tough matchup because you can't harass him out of lane. He's going to lower your damage with Breathe Fire. But we'll see what Liquid has in mind. I think, yeah, wave clear of some sort against CK illusions, unless they feel like the CM is going to give them enough AoE with Freezing Field. But that's theoretically a 5-position Crystal Maiden. I don't really think you can rely on her.
Phantom Assassin.
Okay, so they're doing low Druid mid, and then they're going to do PA safe lane. That's a hero with evasion that can actually match up somewhat against the Chaos Knight pretty well.
So Matu on the Lone Druid, GH with the Earth Spirit, Kuroki on the Crystal Maiden, Mind Control with the Night Stalker, Miracle on the Phantom Assassin. CCNC goes to that Dragon Knight, crit on Tiny with Fly playing the Phoenix, Arteezy on the CK, leaving S4 on the Leshraken. You know, we saw the Night Stalker earlier. His go-to move was to get behind enemy lines and take out the Kato in that last game we saw him in. Is there a hero like that here for EG that he can kind of do that to? Is the only one really the Phoenix? And even then, can you really take him out?
Yeah, I mean, the Phoenix, yeah, he's got dive as well as supernova, so he's not the best ideal target. I think you're looking at like the Leshrac and the Tiny, who's got low armor. These are good heroes to jump on and try and burst down. DK, very tanky. CK, you know, if you're going on him with Earth Spirit and Night Stalker, PA is good follow-up. And that's where the PA carry works against any of these heroes, is that she's not going in first to start the fight. It's an Earth Spirit rolling in. It's a Night Stalker charging forward with his ultimate up. You know, there's a lot of setup for the PA to come into the fight later on and look to clean up.
Is this also another PA Midas game we could see potentially?
I think so. I think Midas is just great in general on a lot of these carries, and I think PA, no reason not to get it really, unless you feel like if you want to go Battle Fury, then you don't. I don't think you go Midas into Battle Fury, so that's maybe the scenario where you don't get Midas. But if you're going for a Deso build, getting Midas before Deso works just fine.
Trying to think of what the over-under line should be here for Midas's in this game.
I mean, if Lone Druid is pretty much a sure thing. Arteezy CK, I feel like that's also a sure thing. He loves his Midas. So it's at least 2. I would say there's probably a third somewhere in this game.
Could throw the line at 4. I think we saw, what, 4 in the last game? Technically a 5th with the Tempest double.
Yeah, I think if you set a line like 3.5, so you either say there's going to be 4 or more or 3 or less, because I think it's pretty safe to say there'll probably be 3.
So we'll see. This should be a good one. I like the Leshrac here too. I'm not sure. Usually you see it maybe over mid mostly, but well, it's actually starting in the safe lane. Again, this comes down to whether or not they're going to scout the lanes, as has become very important in the early parts of these games, is just tracking who's going to be where and getting that right matchup.
Teasy. He's got a new nickname for Mind Control. Calls him Good Luck Big Mac. I guess if you add an extra letter in between MC, you can get Good Big Mac, but players having a little bit of fun here anyways.
It definitely feels like a little bit of a looser tournament, which, you know, with a DPC tournament being as strict as it is, it feels good to have the ability to lay loose and, you know, play some Apex.
Oh, that's the thing. I think teams, they're always going to go to events and play to win. I remember Crit talking about it on his stream a bit. People were asking him, like, oh, you know, now that you've pretty much qualified for TI, are you going to be taking majors less seriously? And he's like, dude, no one likes losing. Every team's going to every major and playing to win, because losing's just not fun. And that's the same with these tournaments. Teams may be relaxing and joking around and playing Apex Legends during drafts, but once they're in game and while they're drafting, their captain's drafting them the best thing to win with, and they're playing to the best of their abilities to win all these games.
Yeah, I think it definitely takes a lot of pressure off when you know nobody's going to be eliminated here in the group stage. Obviously, that lower bracket best of 1 is something that we've hinted upon multiple times throughout this past 2 days as a place you really don't want to be. But we'll definitely see. I think it definitely turns on for all these teams once that playoffs hit, if it's not on for some teams already.
Here we go. Lanes breaking out. The expected mid matchup, Bear versus DK. Nothing too crazy there. CK does end up switching back to the top lane, getting the matchup he wants against Night Stalker, and that gives them this aggressive lane with Leshrac that can pose a lot of kill threat and onto Miracle's PA. This is not an easy lane for the PA to play, although he does dodge that first stun being thrown out.
For EG, they've got 3 heroes down here. With Crit yet to take a skill yet, we'll see where they go. It's also 3 heroes down here for Liquid. The potential of GH coming in with the Rolling Boulder as well as the Crystal Nova, so if you find an opportunity to come in, I mean, there's no reason not to go. Especially when they don't have that stun, as S4 whiffs it once again. But the Stifling Dagger comes through, and there's the toss back. He elects for the toss first. And now with S4 level 2 doing a lot of damage here to Miracle, the Rolling Boulder is going to come in. And now Crit in a little bit of a bad way with the Stifling Dagger coming in one more time. The first blood will be here for GH. And they've also got the Salve, so Miracle might even re-engage on this one. S4 has to be a little bit careful. Kuroki's got the Crystal Nova once again. That's going to solo him up. S4 trying to get away. Misses the stun once more, and the Rolling Boulder comes in again. And that'll be Miracle getting his team a second kill and him his first. So that is just things going horribly wrong.
Yeah, I want to say 4 missed stuns there that he's had in this laning stage. I mean, a lot of the stun is guesswork. It's not just like straight up like, oh, it's a mega misplay, but Miracle juking and dodging those stuns gets him the first blood, gets him a second kill, and puts him in a great position in this bottom tri lane. So that's huge for Team Liquid here to start things off.
So is this the kind of lineup, though, for Liquid that can have a great start like that? And sometimes we see teams kind of sit back and look for the farm and secure their advantage. Is this a team that can, or a lineup that can just snowball out of control real quick? You lose a couple of fights in your lanes, and then that could just be it.
Yeah, I think they're a little bit slower paced outside of the Night Stalker. So he's not in this tri lane, but once he hits that first nighttime or gets like his first like bracer or two, he could rotate to these lanes and start snowballing out of control. But PA probably going to be looking to farm. Lone Druid is a pretty item timing dependent hero. He's going to be farming up his Midas. So I don't imagine Liquid are going to look to, you know, turn any big laning stage wins into anything crazy in terms of aggression.
RTZ having a good time over top of the CS chart at 16 and 7, already level 4. Mind Control about 25% away from that level 4, and honestly about 50% away from where RTZ is. So RTZ is having a great time in his lane, a 1v1.
Yeah. And CK, anytime he can, he's just going to use that Reality Rift or get that crit off on Mind Control. So I think the solution is, for Liquid, is once it's almost nighttime, you rotate in heroes to help out. You bring somebody top to help gank RTZ. Because right now, he's just using that Chaos Strike off cooldown to harass and also lifesteal. So he's basically got this health sustain advantage where he doesn't need as many tangos and salves because he's constantly healing with the Chaos Strike.
RTZ doing well over here. Miracle doing well also in his safe lane. He's 20 and 2. He's also got himself a kill and an assist, so sitting pretty here in the bottom lane. He's got Kuroki nearby if they try to go in on a Miracle. And it's the Phantom Strike back to the Tiny. He'll toss him up. Miracle getting a little bit low with the Rolling Boulder coming in with a Boulder Smash. That's going to put Crit under the tower. They'll get the kill on a Miracle, but the tower will take care of Crit. The stun finally hitting on a Kuroki. And with that, should be able to get another kill with the Icarus dive from Fly under the tower. But Fly's taking a lot of damage. And he wants him to turn around and hit that courier. But a nice stun from S4. We'll see if that keeps him alive. But with Miracle joining back in, he will certainly die. And now they need to back off a little bit with Crit coming through the Boulder Smash, hitting onto S4 as well as Crit, so slowing them down. Meanwhile, top lane, Mind Control fighting Arteezy, and Arteezy gets the kill all by himself over top. And Mind Control just tipping Arteezy.
Did he Reality Rift him into a creep wave?
Might have been able to knock him down. S4 bottom, missing the stun once again. S4 has to run away here, but he's unable to make the escape. Kuroki gets the kill. Fly in a little bit of trouble. GH, Miracle, and Kuroki all here to surround Fly, and they'll get themselves yet another 6-3 here for Liquid early on. This is a bloodbath.
Liquid's this bottom lane has just been a great source of entertainment. They're not done. Miracle gets a Leshrac tossed on top of him. He has to blink away. He may still survive here. There is an avalanche in a couple of seconds, though, and Crit's got magic stick charges.
Just trying to get away. There's the avalanche, but not enough damage. The right clicks, and still just can't get Miracle, and he's got this shrine.
Yep. Good value use between the two heroes. Kuro's like, guys, what about me? Poor Crystal Maiden, but you know, sometimes they would have to wait a good 5 seconds. So Kuro, he's got these tangos, he's got stick charges. He'll have to suffer to heal up another day.
It's the life of a 5. As they stumble into Crit. Now the toss comes through. Kuroki in a little bit of trouble with the Boulder Smash. Comes through on a Crit as well as Fly. Icarus dive around, so Kuroki ends up losing his life anyway with the Rolling Boulder hitting on to CCNC, but the stun will come through from the Dragon Knight. Now GH, he is just in no man's land, and it will be 2 kills here for Fly.
Wow, just constant aggression. Mind Control is not having the best time up top, but it does look like he's got help coming his way. Both supports actually TPing in, and I think they know, because it's 6.5 minutes, any wards up here from the start of the game will have expired by now. So this is a great potential kill opportunity on Arteezy, but Arteezy also, I think, looks very aware of what could be coming his way. level 6 Night Stalker. He doesn't want to mess around in this lane.
They might be able to go in, and if Arteezy's not careful, but he plays it super safe and just walks all the way back. So it's yours. Go for it.
I think it's a bit obvious now. Once Night Stalker starts playing that aggressive under the tower. But even if you don't get this kill, it's still a good rotation if you can get this tier 1 tower with the Siege Creep, or at least do some good damage, which seems to be like they'll get it down to about half health.
Well, they actually spot Crit coming around. They've also got these wards set up, so 3 heroes are going to get around him, and now they've got the Crystal Nova that's going to come around, as well as the Boulder Smash. So Crit in a lot of trouble, but stun up his mind control. He's going to be under the tower with Arteezy pulling him in with the Reality Rift. They'll get the kill. The Rolling Boulder out. Crit's still not dead, but Kuroki doing enough to get the kill. This pulls CCNC and Fly over here as well, so a lot of rotations for EG. It does get mind control. They should be able to get the Crystal Maiden as well, so at least 2 where I say that. And
Andre back mid is pressuring a tier 1 tower as well, and Kuro
trying to get through the trees.
Does he want to go for a TP? I think he'll make it if he does. Oh no, he runs into Fly now.
Space? He's got 2 mangoes, so Frostbite him again. Keep running.
I think he's just accepting his death now. He doesn't want to die during a TP, and he'd rather just play it safe. As mid lane, they get the tier 1 tower. If he TP'd, like, if he used a mango TP earlier, he would have definitely lived, but ultimately, you know, you're a 5% support. That kill doesn't give away too much to EG. S4's life, on the other hand, that's worth a bit more.
Crit gets the Avalanche out onto GH, but GH, he'll have the help of mind control. The Void's going to be thrown at Crit. We'll see if they're able to turn it around with CCNC and Fly joining the fray. GH gets around, Dragon Tail, Boulder Smash hitting on a Fly as well as Crit. Arteezy's come into it. Amatu is here. The Bear trying to do all it can. Crit's actually sitting a little bit low. He needs to be careful. The Reality Rift pulls back in the Bear. They've got the 2-second stun. Meanwhile, going really far back is GH trying to get the kill on a Crit. With a Boulder Smash, he will find it. That actually hit a bunch of heroes. And GH now on the run. He goes over towards the trees, but the 2-second stun is there for Arteezy. One more shot gets the kill. And we'll finally take out this Earth Sphere.
Well, a lot of fighting and aggression. Liquid slightly getting the better of that one. GH has just been everywhere on this map. He's been in 8 of these 9 kills. He's just constantly playing aggressive wherever he goes. Kills at bottom in the laning stage, kills up top, now at mid. And he's going to feel pretty good about the impact he's had so far on this game, creating a lot of space for Miracle's PA. Miracle, after that very action-packed lane stage, is just happy to get some farm, although there is a gank coming his way.
CCNC as well as Fly. Miracle.
Yep.
He
Gets
sees
away.
it.
I think you really want the DK leading there. He's the one with the stun. If he pops his Dragon Form and gets a stun out, he's the one who can set up for you. But hey, if they don't get the kill, they're at least going to get a tier 1 tower out of it.
Get the quick tower. S4 going to help with that, as well as CCNC coming in with the Elder Dragon form. So a quick little tier 1 tower for them over bottom. Miracle pushed all the way over towards the secret shop area in by these jungle camps. And he'll pick up the bounty rune as well. He's going for the Battle Fury, so it doesn't actually go to that Midas.
Yeah, it's typically one or the other. You don't get the Midas if you're going to go Battle Fury. You want to, Battle Fury is such a timing item that you want it as early as possible.
Mind control.
There's not really...
Bottom, it pulls in CCNC and S4, but the TPs just take way too long. Or, well, I thought they turned around for a second. CCNC, that's a lot of trouble for him as S4 comes back in. We'll see what he's able to do as he hits the stun onto GH. He'll get the kill, but Matu's going to be coming around the back. With the Bear coming through, Arteezy also coming into the fight. Mind control in the trees. They're trying to get the kill, at least on a CCNC. They'll get the 1-second stun onto the Bear. Crit coming through on the trees, waiting for somebody to move forward. But nobody ever does. Liquid don't overstep. Although they are under this ward vision. So they need to be careful. Arteezy, he's looking to go back in. The Reality Rift pulls in Kuroki. See what they're able to do. 2-second stun. Crit coming over. And the Avalanche. They should be able to get the kill. And there's the toss. The Bear. That is a heavy Bear to land on Kuroki and get the kill. So Crit gets the kill. Rooted up is Arteezy. And with that, I think Liquid might even think about just finally leaving. But Matu turns around and, yeah, Arteezy, he's going to eat some shots from this Bear.
Not your typical Arteezy game. He's playing the Chaos Knight, getting very active and involved. He's been in 4 of these kills, and I like this look. He's going to get a Midas soon enough where he can kind of maintain his farm, but giving up the safe lane so that Fly's Phoenix can get some levels and hit level 6, get the Supernova, get a Bracer or 2. You know, getting these items on a Phoenix can make a big difference. Typically, Phoenix is a hero that wants to get levels as well as items, because you benefit so much. You can do a lot of damage. You have a GPM talent you want to get as early as possible, so a much more kind of selfless style coming out from Arteezy as the carry.
It's going to be 2 Midases here for EG as CCNC has picked up a Midas. He's going into the Blink Dagger after, and then just around the same time, it's going to be the Midas here for Arteezy.
I believe Night Stalker as well is going to be going for one. He's got at least a Gloves of Haste, so we could be looking at that for Midas Gaming. At least 3 of them are already on the way.
Bear has the double damage going into a Radiance as Matu. He finds Fly, the Icarus dive.
Does he want to double? I'd say that's very deep. If you go for that kill, you're chasing into a shrine and a tier 2 tower, so not worth it when you're the carry of sorts trying to farm up a Radiance right now.
And then Mind Control. Looks like he's going for a Midas, so yeah, should be 4.
EG feeling strong right now, even with the Midas on their CK. I mean, there's Midases on both sides, so they just want to get involved.
Mind Control gets spotted. Reality Rift comes through. The sun's going to be landing here from S4. It should be a tower.
They're killing Night Stalker during nighttime. Well, it's daytime, but he pops his ultimate and he still dies there. So that's a 2-minute plus cooldown, and he doesn't even survive. Completely wasted cooldown. And that's something I feel like a lot of these Night Stalker players are struggling to figure out, is how to effectively use this ultimate. When it's such a long cooldown, it's a very costly spell to throw out if you're still going to die.
Yeah, quite the cooldown at level 1, 140 seconds. Even at level 3, 2 minutes. You know, that's a long time if you don't use it effectively.
So, EG doing a good job controlling the map for now. They have lost some of their vision with the de-warding coming out, but they're doing all this with their double Midas. Just having these heroes like DK and Chaos Knight, they're not super item-dependent heroes in the early game. Like, you're not looking at getting a BKB this early on in the game, so having Midases doesn't really hurt these heroes' abilities to fight. Whereas if, you know, you're a squishy mid like, I don't know, an Invoker or something, you get a Midas, it doesn't benefit you, it doesn't help you fight because you're so squishy. So these are heroes that really benefit from this Midas era right now.
Yeah, seeing more and more Midases and seeing really, it's starting to become a lot more obvious in which heroes these Midases are usually going to be built on. Again, EG pressuring bottom, just continuing. And S4, you know, he's not level 10 yet. He's going into this Rod of Atos to make sure that he can land those stuns. But meanwhile, CCNC a little bit of trouble. The Boulder Smash comes through. And CCNC tossed over to the neutral camp. But I don't know if it's going to matter with the Magnetize on top of him. They'll get themselves the kill. And now trying to get out will be Crit. We'll see if he can make the escape. The Bear coming over. And yeah, there's the Stifling Dagger. You're going towards the enemy tower. That is... usually a sign of maybe I can make 4 more seconds.
It's not a good look, yeah, when you're running at that tower. Bounty Rune's coming up. Matu is going to snipe at the top one with his Bear.
Oh boy.
So,
GH. He rolls in for one, and that might not have been the call. S4 actually ends up on the low ground, but GH still, again, yeah, he wanted a Bounty Rune, got ambitious, ends up paying for it.
At this stage, dying as a support for a Bounty Rune is actually economically worth it, but he didn't get it, so not really worth it in the end.
Again, Mind Control using that ult right on top of S4. There's nothing that he can do. He's got Matu here with Mind Control. The ulti gets used this time effectively to get the kill here onto the Leshrac. But again, still... some open space here for Arteezy, who's got that armlet, and just about to have that blink is CCNC.
I think the scary thing is this Radiance timing is going to be pretty hard to fight into, but at the same time...
toss over onto Miracle. They've got the Dragon Tail, and with the Sunray run on top, Miracle just escaping the Icarus dive over, trying to get the kill here, but unable to do so. He survives with under 50 health. That was almost enough to take out that Phantom Assassin.
It was as low as like 15 health, and Matu not going to get the bottom tier 1 tower, but there is rotations coming in. It's still it's a good healthy length of nighttime left, so Mind Control can be very effective as the rest of Liquid are smoking towards his bottom lane behind him, looking to set up for this tier 1 tower. They will see Mind Control though, they've got a sentry.
Yeah, they've got RTZ coming over. He'll use that ulti, look to get the kill into mind control, and immediately GH is like, yep, you're dead. I'm out of here. Not going to give up my life. And they do use the ulti on both CCNC and RTZ, so they pull that out of just getting the kill on to the Night Stalker.
It's a very good move from Liquid to make that rotation bottom. It's just, you know, a bit unfortunate they run into a sentry. It's not totally bad luck because it's pretty common that you have a sentry there to de-ward that kill. But Liquid make the smart call. The second Night Stalker gets gone on, both supports, like GH is rolling away. He's not looking to even try and save his buddy. The worst thing that you can do there is try and save Night Stalker because he's a core, and then you end up losing 2 supports plus a core, and it's a really big win for EG. Instead, EG wastes some cooldowns, and you can actually, now you can regroup and still look to fight. You've still got a lot of nighttime left to play around.
So see what they're able to do is they've got Miracle continuing to farm. He does have this Battle Fury going into the Desolator next, and I think buying out, yeah, he should have the Radiance recipe coming over. Yeah. All right. So that full Radiance is there. The Battle Fury, Miracle going to continue to be able to farm at such a higher pace. And they aren't playing too aggressive. They are, you know, having still Matu and Miracle farm as they want to find their next couple of items.
They've just got the Radiance, though. So Miracle, even though he's got this Battle Fury, may be interested in coming to a team fight that he doesn't have to start off. He can be the follow-up. Like we mentioned, the Earth Spirit, the Night Stalker leading the way, and the Bear Radiance in the front lines. Miracle could be like the cleanup crew, where he just isolates like a support, or finds a squishy hero like a Leshrac. But if he's also happy just to farm jungle while his team will go around, smoke up the map. That's what's happening right now. Liquid are posing a threat in this top lane, while Miracle just farms in the safe parts of the jungle.
Doing an alright job. He's sitting here third in the net worth behind RTZ and behind Matu. And RTZ, we take a look at what he's got. He's got the Armlet as well as the Midas going into a Heart immediately afterwards. And he's got 2,500 gold into that so far.
Just wanting to tank up as much as possible. And Heart on CK is also damaged to a certain extent. So he's pretty happy with this. And Matu's going to pressure tier 3. He wants to force like an honest defense right now. EG's getting very greedy, pressuring this tier 2 bottom with 4 heroes. If it's just a Phoenix top, Matu's going to do some good damage to this tier 3. And right now, nobody else is defending this one. Luckily, there's no battle cry. He may just get this tier 3 tower.
Yeah, I mean, the blink in with the Dragon Tail, and now they're going to bring in CK. Immediately Liquid turn around the Reality Rift the Bear, and it will be immediately resummoned.
That's fine if they don't lose anyone else. Matu doesn't really want to send his bear in for a Savage Roar, but he may have to.
Though,
if he loses his bear, it hurts.
He could be in a little bit of trouble. He'll use that ulti, but now he's feared up. Crit coming around, he'll get the Avalanche to come through onto Lone Druid. He's taking a lot of damage really quickly, and an RTZ with the Reality Rift, a 4-second stun onto the bear, and it's going to be killed off once again. The Supernova gets used with the ulti of Kuroki. It's not going to be enough damage. They'll also take out Mind Control. There's going to be 2 heroes dead here. The blink forward from CCNC, but it's unable to get anything more. They get 2 kills there. They get 2 bears there, too.
Yeah, EG had a very good understanding that Miracle is not at this fight.
This should make my life
Why?
easier.
He could be in some trouble here. No, he's not going to chase Miracle, backs off. But EG knew there's no PA, and the bear, if they kill that bear, that's 5,000 gold or 7,000 gold. Midas and Radiance on that bear removed from the fight. So they just killed the Spirit Bear a second time, and then suddenly that fight is very easy for EG to just chase and take down a win. Even with the CM ulti doing a lot of damage, doesn't really matter when there's no Bear Radiance.
Rolling Boulder attempting to land on RTZ, but he also gets the Geomagnetic Grip as well as the Magnetize. The Boulder Smash comes through. Mind Control trying to get the Silence continue on, so he's not able to get out of this one. And RTZ taking a lot of damage. The Magnetize reapplied. He's got the Armlet Toggle, and there's the Boulder Smash coming in from GH Messy style. And they'll be able to take out RTZ and end that 6-time spree.
Nice big kill going Liquid's way. GH, 700 gold for him. Not the ideal hero to get it, but you just need to make sure you kill the CK there. When he's Armlet toggling in front of you, everyone's seen those highlight clips where some hero with Armlet 1v3s with some crazy Armlet toggles. Now, Cheesy, one of the guys who's done that before, so safe play coming out, and Liquid know they're just going to keep farming. This PA is about to complete a Desolator, and then when PA has B-Fury, Deso, BKB, Liquid are pretty damn scary and unstoppable at that point, I feel. Like, that is a vicious item timing that EG don't have good answers to.
So we'll see where Liquid are going to find themselves once they do, in fact, get this BKB here from Miracle, and how quickly he's going to grab it. And then Lone Druid back alive. He's got his bear back. He's got the Radiance going into an AC. So there's the Desolator finished, and that was CC&C going into his ult as they find Mind Control once again, who's died 5 times already this game. The stun's going to hit from S4. It's only a 1-second stun coming in from Arteezy, but more than enough damage to follow it up. They'll get the kill here on the Night Stalker, and Arteezy is the one who claims the life.
Yep. Nice little kill. Mind Control's not having the easiest of games. He is very, very poor. 6 deaths, less farm than the Phoenix. It is a Midas Phoenix with a GPM talent, so it's not like a huge shocker, but it is a little bit concerning that Mind Control isn't seeing much in the way of item progression.
And off that kill, EG, they'll smoke up, and we'll see if they can get across and possibly find an engagement here with Liquid. They do have the double damage here on Miracle, and they are as far away as they really could be from that smoke point. Meanwhile, Crit's going to be spotted. 3 shots, not enough to get the kill, but the Avalanche Toss comes in. G is going to Rolling Boulder over. They'll get the Geomagnetic Grip to silence him up, and the Icarus Dive comes through as well as the Supernova right on top of Miracle. They've also got CC&C and Arteezy coming in from the side. A 3-second stun, that comes through on a GH. The Supernova finally pops with the Sunray on top of Miracle. They'll get the kill here. Miracle ends up dying, and that's going to be 2 more on top of that for EG. They lose Crit, but they take out GH and Miracle, and that's a 4-time spree swiped off for Miracle.
Yeah, Miracle just can't afford to come to fights until he has his BKB. I mean, that fight kind of comes to him. He's not really aggressively looking to get involved. He's often playing this like 1-4 split where he's alone while his team plays together. But until he has BKB, any team fight, he's going to get stunned by either DK, Chaos Knight, Tiny Lesh. There's 4 big stuns. There's a Phoenix with Fire Spirits, with Supernova. It's impossible to team fight until you have BKBs on this Radiant side.
Still looking for that AC, and the BKB, he's got enough for the Mithril Hammer, so still needs 2,400 more gold. So, I mean, they need a little bit of time here for Liquid. They went in for Crit, and they ended up paying the price for it.
Yep. We'll fall back to farming. I think Liquid's still on pretty good track here. The worry is if that EG gets like an Aegis on their side and starts just going from objective to objective, taking over the map. But with the Bear Radiant, they're able to push out these lanes and at least keep EG a little bit on the back foot. EG have to constantly go back and deal with this lane pressure because of the Bear.
Bear, 2 seconds stunned. Got the stun on it one more time, and it's actually 300 gold there for Fly. That's pretty big as Crit goes down one more time. They spot him out. GH will get that one. He's 4, 5, and 10, so involved in quite a bit here for the side of Liquid overall.
Crit having a similar experience to Mind Control. A lot of deaths. Finding himself like trying to start these fights and getting caught out a bit, but ultimately he's a support, so it's not the end of the world. He's basically a 5-position Tiny in this game, with Phoenix having all this greed and GPM coming his way. I like that EG don't mind putting Fly on a more greedy role when he's playing this Phoenix because of, yeah, just how well Phoenix uses items.
He's found himself quite a bit of gold. He's behind CC&C in front of S4, so, I mean, he is farming up a storm at the moment in terms of this Phoenix. He's got that extra 90 gold per minute. He's so close to that Shiva's. I mean, that's going to be a really important item coming into these next couple of fights.
Both teams hovering around this Roshan pit, knowing how important it is at this stage of the game. And for Liquid, you know, you've got PA is one of those heroes that really benefits from Aegis more than most carries. And this PA is level 18, so level 3 coup de grace, the 450% crit damage, and just about to hit BKB, but EG looking to fight. If they can get a fight before PA's BKB comes up, that'd be huge.
Yeah, they're going to blink in. They've got the Sunray on top of a couple of these heroes. The Avalanche actually hit on 3. CC&C is going to pop that BKB. They've got the fear that's going to push back a couple of the heroes on the side of EG as the nice ulti from Kuroki coming down on EG, but there's the Reality Rift as well as the 4-second stun. It's not going to be enough because Liquid, they're really trying to evacuate from this one. The Supernova goes off. S4 trying to throw, well, a little bit of ambition stun.
They only lost to CM. That's so good for them considering they got... PA got initiated on by a DK stun, and they managed to not lose anybody. And I mean, the big reason is Matu with this Radiance Bear is just causing so many problems. The Savage Roar's coming out. The Night Stalker is this really tanky fella as well. And Liquid don't lose anything too critical. And EG, they blow BKB on DK. They throw out the CK ultimate. That's a big lost opportunity because Liquid's chasing, and this time they have got the PA BKB.
Yeah, so you need to be careful. S4 gets hit with the Stifling Dagger. They'll send the bear up to the top, and 3 of these heroes running away in fear. But they've got the Yules. They'll look for the stun. That's going to land. The Icarus dive all the way on top, and now Miracle just cleaned up. Oh, he's going to be cleaned up and dead for 60 seconds. They look over at Mind Control. He's going to get over the cliff. They find GH. They actually get the bear. They pull him back. 3-second stun. And a bit more gold going their way, but the Magnetize as well as the Boulder Smash. This could be something for GH as Mind Control coming back into the fray. They'll take out S4. They'll take out Fly. That's going to be 2 heroes dead here. CCNC trying to get back into it as now the Avalanche hits on a Mind Control GH as well as Matu. They'll take out Crit. He's going to be the 3rd one to die on EG. And oh boy, this is turning real sour for EG quite quickly as Arteezy trying to armor toggle to get the Reality Rift on Mind Control. A 3-second stun, but he's going to be kicked away by GH, saving his life for now, but the Reality Rift comes out once again. GH, they've got the mech. They'll stay alive. Arteezy ends up dying. They've got the Frostbite coming through onto the Phoenix. Fly trying to get away from this one, but Matu and GH are right on top of him. He's going to die back. He's dead for 75 seconds. They find CCNC on top of this as they've got him surrounded. They'll get the kill. It's going to be a full team wipe for Liquid, and that's without Miracle.
Bruh, who says Miracle's the best player in the world? He's getting his scrub ass carried by the rest of Liquid right now. Dude, he blinks. His BKB was coming on the courier. It was like a second away, and he blinked on this ledge strike. He got very greedy. He wanted to kill S4. He blinks in. He gets thrown up in the air and stunned before his BKB arrives. Luckily for him, he's got 4 TI winning teammates on his team as well, because the rest of Liquid making this team fight work.
Crit comes in for an Avalanche, tries to slow down the push of Liquid, but he ends up paying for it with his life. The stun comes down into the bear with a Frostbite once again. This time on top of S4, he'll throw this Rod of Atos over at GH, but he's in a lot of trouble. Silence up, Frostbitten again, and then dominating is Matu. Everybody dead once more on EG with Arteezy back up in 2.
Are they going to get a second lane of racks? They might. This tier 3 is already loaded from earlier, and 2 full lanes is just... I don't think EG's really got the ability to come back from this. They'll try. Miracle's still playing PvE. Hey, Miracle, bro, there's a Dota game going on. This isn't World of Warcraft. He's got an Aegis now, but meanwhile, his team just took 4 racks. They're playing 4v5 Dota. If this was a pub, you'd be reporting Miracle, but no. One of the best players in the world, not having his best game. I mean, he's 5-3-6. He had a great laning stage with kills, but his team is showing how good they are.
Yeah, they don't need Miracle. He could AFK in base. You know, if you're going to report him anyway for taking Roche by himself, you might as well just sit in base at this point.
Yeah.
They've got it. They've handled it. They took the mid set of racks. They took the top set of racks. He took Roche by himself. They've got the Aegis, Fly, Crit over here. Miracle, GH, and Kuroki. They're nearby, but the reality comes out. Look at the silence here on Arteezy, who's in a little bit of trouble with the BKB being popped by CCNC. The Rod of Atos comes through on Matu. They'll get the kill on the Fly to start this off. The Sun following it up from S4. But it's not going to be enough as they really don't have the damage. They're going to lose Crit once again. The ult coming in from Kuroki is doing a lot of damage here to Arteezy, but it gets the 3-second stun. S4 drops. There goes the tier 2 tower. They're going to try and chase on to the CK, who's in so much trouble. Arteezy trying to get out of here with at least 1 kill. CCNC is alive as well, but they lose Arteezy. It looks like they're going to lose CCNC, and it's going to be GG call. Can Miracle get the rampage? There it is to cap it off, and Liquid, they will do it. It's a full team wipe. It's a rampage for Miracle, and that's the game. EG, see you later. I mean, Liquid just all of a sudden turned it on, even without the BKB, and rolled over.
What a funny way to end it. You know, Miracle, he's been quietly farming all game and just shows up, gets a rampage, says, guys, I am in this game after all. Let's get into the rest of the day. We've got a group stage to end because Liquid now, top of the groups, they have decidedly put themselves 4-1, and they're looking really, really good. And I think this game serves as a reminder, you know, Lone Druid's been kind of in and out of the meta. There's only been a few teams who kind of picked and played it over the last year or so. It's kind of come back a bit. But Matu, he probably is the best Lone Druid player in the world. This guy is an absolute mastermind of this hero.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't die that entire game. He found his farm. Maybe he fed the bear 4 or 5 times, but it really didn't come back to bite him. And it all kind of stemmed off that tier 3 push over top. I mean, so much damage done to that tier 3 tower, and it almost made maybe EG feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, I think Liquid had a really good game plan this game. They had a great draft, and they had some players on signature heroes. GH on this Earth Spirit wreaked so much havoc. Matu's Lone Druid. Mind Control had a slow start, but once he got rolling, and the way the 4 players created space for Miracle was just really impressive this game. And I think EG doing something a bit out of their comfort zone, playing around like a fighting carry on Arteezy, not putting him on, you know, the Terrorblades, the Earth Wardens, those more late game oriented hero. That gave them, you know, a slightly different game plan and one that they're just not used to playing with.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like Liquid have still got it put together. EG, meanwhile, again, of course, it's with CCNC, who is a solid player, but, you know, a lot of the backbone, people will say, will come from Sumail and his ability with this team. So, I mean, Liquid, they turn it around. Miracle, we're not going to report you. You went 10-3-6. You still did your job and played that really well. I mean, he got the Aegis by himself. They end up winning the game. Gets that Rampage to cap it off. Looks really good for Liquid. They probably secure their spot in terms of the upper bracket. And EG now, they're the ones struggling at 3-3.
Yeah, EG, best case scenario, they end 4-3, which is going to be borderline. That might squeak you in like 4th place, but we could see quite a few teams with like a 4-3 record here. And they've also got to win their last game, which I think you mentioned was against eHome. So it's a potentially tricky last matchup for them, depending on how eHome's playing with the stand-in factor.
So we'll see. It's going to be 1 stand-in for EG, 2 stand-ins there for eHome. But coming up next is actually Vici versus Newbie, where Vici at this current moment are 2-3. They're sitting second to last behind eHome because IG, they actually won their second game today against Virtus Pro. Excuse me?
That's crazy. Yeah. Apparently it was like against Mega Creeps 2 is what, according to Twitter, they had 1 building remaining and it was their throne. And they won the game.
I'm going to have to watch
there's
that.
been some crazy games. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, that puts IG 2-3. There's multiple teams here at 2-3. VP, Vici, IG, and then eHome at 2-4. And then I know that they were asking about tiebreaker, which is like head-to-head results, and then this word I can't pronounce. I won't even try. I'm not going to embarrass myself. I've done that too many times tonight. So, you know, the tiebreakers, I don't think they'll be playing any more games is what I'm trying to say. Is there's, you know, it comes down to head-to-head and a couple of other things afterwards. So we'll see if Virtus Pro might end up in the lower bracket where you don't want to be, those best of ones.
Fun stuff. I mean, VP low bracket, yeah, that'd be quite the shocker, but maybe not based on some of their drafting activities. But hey, that's part of the fun of these non-DPC tournaments. The results can just be a little bit unpredictable. For sure.
And, you know, maybe like how some of these baseball teams and basketball teams have been banning players from staying up all night and playing Fortnite. I think maybe you stop playing Apex Legends during the draft. You know, it might be one of those things.
The comparison here is like VP's like, you know, they're resting their star players before TI. You know, it's like that's the way NBA players will not play their superstar players when they're already secured into the playoffs. You know, that's VP right now. They're not resting their players directly by taking them out of the game, but they're resting them by saying, you guys don't have to scrim or practice. Go to MDL, go to China, play some Apex Legends. If you want to, if you feel like on the side, play some Dota. If you lose, it's okay. We don't mind. As long as you get those squad wins.
That's definitely fair. So next is Vici versus Newbie, and we'll be back then in just a moment. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. It's myself, B-Cop. We'll be joined here by Gods, and we'll be back in just a moment.